The crucial decision on fuse time is calculated automatically. The computer decides when to fire. The aim is to do what was never possible during the war, to break the hold of a missile whose radar has locked on to a ship. A correctly placed chaff cloud should be able to seduce the missile away from the ship. Precise timing and placing are vital. The computer can show what the consequences would be of an error of just a quarter of a second in the fuse time. The chaff rocket explodes after 1.5 seconds. The chaff cloud is represented by a bar, and this starts to float into the rectangle representing the area in which the missile's radar is looking for a target. At this stage, the missile is already locked onto the ship. The wind blows the edge of the chaff bar into the area swept by the missile's radar. The center of interest moves off the ship. But because the timing was wrong, the chaff cloud leaves the radar rectangle too early. The missile's interest reverts to the ship. This is what it looks like from the missile's point of view. The chaff cloud hooks its attention, but can't hold it. The system's test will, unfortunately, be the next war. In the Falklands, the British lost twice as many ships close in to land as in open ocean. The Navy faced a completely different set of problems in the confined waters around San Carlos.
From a landing point of view, it was ideal because the beaches were of the right gradient and the right texture and were sheltered. On the other hand, our greatest problem, as is widely known, was the enclosed circumstances in which we had to deal with this quite intense air threat. Excellent radars were almost useless in that very confined operating area. Reflections from land cluttered the picture to an unacceptable degree, so that really all you could see was a sort of rice pudding effect on your radar screen, which made it very difficult to see aircraft targets, which were flying low, round corners, and coming at you from only 2 or 3 miles notice and seen visually from the bridge.
On the first day of the landings, HMS Ardent caught the worst of these attacks from Argentina.
Éramos 6 aviones en total, 6 aviones Skyhawk A4Q, separados en 2 secciones reforzadas de 3 y 3, distanciadas 10 minutos una de otra.
Well, the first attack was by Navy A4s of the big heavy attacks, and indeed I was talking to the ship's company on the ship's main broadcast, because it's a way of keeping the chaps down below aware of what's going on, and we hadn't been able to detect them on radar, and just as I was talking to the ship's company, we saw the Navy A4s, because they're painted white and much more easy to see.
La fragata intuyó, el comandante intuyó el ataque, puesto que al momento de cruzar los aviones por encima estaba desarrollando toda su velocidad tratando de ganar aguas abiertas, es decir, una actitud lógica del comandante naval.
And I turned away from land to give my weapons as much opportunity as possible, and also into wind as fast as I could, because this gives a high crossing rate, which causes more of a problem for the chaps to aim.
Cuando mi mira cruzó por el blanco, lancé mis bombas y comencé las maniobras evasivas, imaginando que desde la fragata estaban saliendo los misiles.
And they dropped retard bombs, and I think it was a chap called Philippi who was in the first one, and 2 of his bombs hit me and went off, destroying my Seacat system. Indeed, I looked aft, and the Seacat launcher, which is quite a heavy piece of kit, had gone about 100 feet up in the air and was wobbling around up there, which was slightly bad news. We then received an attack from daggers. It was a confused attack, and we're still not sure whether it was 4 or 5 of them. Now, they didn't actually hit us with any bombs that went off, but they did hit us with some that didn't go off, but a lot of them sort of bounced through the masts and things. Then we had a final attack by more Navy A4s, and they again hit us with, I think it was 5 bombs which went off down aft. I think overall we were hit by 11 bombs.
Ardent sank just a few hours later. Its 1960s weapons and radar had proved inadequate so close to land. But Argentine pilots were not always so fortunate. At least 50 Argentine aircraft were shot down during the war. The Sea Harriers, although heavily outnumbered, were responsible for most of these losses. In the case of Ardent, Sea Harriers caught up with the Argentine aircraft just 2 minutes after the bombing.
Y encontrándome desarrollando esas maniobras, sentí un fuerte impacto en la cola que me dejó el avión sin control, sin posibilidad de seguir girando o de hacer maniobras evasivas. El avión se encabritó, empezó a mover su nariz hacia arriba, temblaba. Traté de corregir ese movimiento. Con las 2 manos empujaba el bastón hacia atrás, tratando de volver el vuelo a la normalidad, pero el bastón parecía soldado al piso. No respondía a los controles. Miré a mi izquierda, vi un numeral haciendo escape, y miro a la derecha y veo un avión Sea Harrier que se aproximaba como si fuera para un remate. Ya lo veía cómo se acomodaba detrás mío, así que dije, esto está todo perdido, y decidí eyectarme.
The Navy were very pleased with the performance of the Sea Harrier, in particular with its handling qualities.
It has a remarkable wing which allows it to be flown without trepidation at very slow speed. And of course it's got the fabled nozzles which allow you to decelerate very quickly and give you 1 or 2 more advantages in combat. So we took advantage of its handling qualities at slow speed to develop the tactics that we use for the aeroplane in combat.
No Sea Harriers were ever lost in air-to-air combat. Their main weapon was this, the Sidewinder missile. Most Argentine aircraft had no equivalent weapon.
Considero que en la batalla de Malvinas, si hubo una estrella que influenció el resultado final, esa fue el misil Sidewinder. El Sidewinder L, asociado a cualquier avión, hubiera desbalanceado en favor ese combate. Realmente contribuyó de manera significativa al mantenimiento de la superioridad aérea por parte de los británicos.
The British believed that their success was due in part to the tactics of their opponents.
Well, I think their command realized that as they were quite a long way from the amphibious landing point, 300 odd miles, they wanted to maintain their assets, keep them alive, so that they could deliver ordnance against the ground forces rather than play against Sea Harrier. I think it was entirely the wrong tactic, and I'm quite certain the Argentine pilots would much preferred to have taken on the Sea Harrier, outnumber it, and hopefully for them, shoot a few of us down.
In San Carlos, Argentine Air Force and naval planes bombed British ships in repeated attacks. Some bombs missed their targets. Others were ultimately successful. But fortunately for the British, 10 ships were hit by bombs that did not explode. Why was this?